Thank you so much, my viewer, wherever you are, and thank you for tuning in on DAESAK TV, the credo of goodness. And this is the morning dew show. Remember, this is where we say that is the credo of goodness. And today we have a lot lined up for you as we inform you, and we have a segment concerning matters concerning politics, whereby today in the house I have a guest who is a political analyst who will be helping us to understand some of the issues concerning politics and things that has been happening in our country, some of them being the election of the East Africa Legislative Assembly representatives from Kenya, and also presidential term limit, whereby yesterday I heard President himself saying that he is not into that after one of the MPs trying to push it that president should retire at the age of 75 other than serving for 2 terms as it is right now according to the Constitution of Kenya. And also we have a PS interview which was banned by the Court of Labor, and yesterday it was approved by the Speaker for National Assembly, Moses Masika Wetangula. Yeah, and it has gone for a break where until the case that has been filed in the court by the Law Society of Kenya, that is LSK, it is being reasoned and being determined. So good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you are fine.
I'm fine.
Yeah, welcome to DAESAK TV.
Thank you.
This is where we say it is the credo of goodness.
Sure.
Yeah, and today you can just tell people your name and say hi to them. So as much as we continue with whatever that we have lined up for them today.
Okay, thank you very much, Peter. And good morning to our viewers. I'm Ombogo Morogo. I'm back. I've been here for sometimes I was here, but I'm back. We'll discuss matter politics. When we were here last time, we were talking about elections. We went here, we did elections. Some of our preferred candidate won, others lost, but we will work with the government of the day.
And life must continue.
And life must continue.
So currently, as we speak, before we enter to the topics that we have today, so how is the field of politics now? How is the shape of the politics right now in the country?
Well, we can say it is taking shape because after elections, there was a smooth transition. Yeah. And many people never expected that President Uhuru Kenyatta will hand over the instrument of power to William Ruto, because they thought that they had differences. People thought that Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto had personal differences. But a smooth transition took place. Then we saw the parliament started its work. Yeah. They voted for their speaker. Now we have a cabinet in place and we expect everything to go on. So I think everything is moving on well. Yeah. And we expect the Hasra government will deliver. And we expect that the Hasra government will deliver on the promises. We hope they are not going to shortchange the Hasras, because as things look, it's like we have 2 kind of hustlers. Yeah. The millionaire hustlers and Mama Boga and Boda people. And what people are saying at the ground is that the government is for the millionaire hustlers, and now for Mama Boga and Boda people are just to wait and watch, maybe hoping they will survive. Yeah.
But as much as we say that we have the real hustlers, that Mama Mboga and Boda riders, but there are plans that are in place by the government. There are plans that have been set by the government to ensure that each and every person gets his or her own share. Yeah. Yes.
But what Mama Boga and Boda were expecting, they expected they would be appointed in the government. They expected that they would see a Mama Boga as a PS, because those Mama Bogas, some of them are well educated. They expected they would see a Boda guy as a PS, or a CS. But now, when President William Ruto named his cabinet, he only named those people who are top there, but those who are down there, they were not named. So there is that discussion around the hustlers nation that the Boda and Mama Boga were left out. But we wait and see how the implementation of the manifesto will be. We expect to see how the hustlers fund will be distributed. Again, some of the hustlers expected that the hustlers fund will be free, and okay, but it is not possible to have a free fund. But now they are saying the fund was said to be free, but now they are told there will be an interest fee. They are told it will be limited to 50K. They expected a lot of money, but now I can only tell my friends and hustlers, just take what is there.
Yes.
Use what is there. If you have a plan, 50,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
If you have a lot, if you plan it, if you have an idea, you can get what you want with those 50,000.
Yeah.
So hustlers, where you are, I was not more of hustler, but I can tell them this: just take what is there, use what you have, and get what you want to have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as much as we have this Hustlers Fund and other things that are going on in the country, so as you have mentioned that the hustlers here out there have been waiting to see somebody who is appointed to be an MC, a PS, a CS, a CS maybe. So because still there is those appointments which are still ongoing.
Yeah.
So what are the qualification for someone to be appointed in these offices?
You know,
maybe.
Okay, you only need to be a Kenyan to be appointed as a PS. You don't need to have degrees and so whatever. But maybe for PS, you need to have a bit of experience in the field you want to serve. But when the shortlisting was done, there were some other young people who are listed there. Like where I come from, Muranga, there was a guy by the name Karondo. He did a lot for the Hustler government. He was qualified for the position of a PS, but when the naming was named, he was not there because he didn't have, maybe he did not sponsor the Hustler government, because those people.
But was it all about loyalty, or even it was about the experience and what you have to give to the government? Because I don't think these positions are there to as a reward, to reward some people.
You see, those people who are shortlisted for the interview were qualified. All of them were qualified.
Yes.
So we expected they will be mixed. We shall have young people. We shall have minority groups. We shall have maybe elders. We have women. And that's why you have seen these things have been challenged to the court, because it did not meet some of these qualifications. William Ruto only appointed those people, quote unquote, who sponsored his campaign. But he did not.
How sure can we say that he mentioned only those people? He appointed those people who only sponsored his campaign.
You see, if you look,
because I don't think there is any at any given time we were given out that record. This person sponsored this.
You know, those are things which we know. Maybe some of the viewers don't know, but majority of those who were nominated as PS were the people who sponsored the campaign. But those people who worked towards hunting votes, they were left out. More so, the youth were left out. There were no youth who are. We expected someone like Dennis Itumbe to be there as a PS. He was qualified, experienced, Akonayo. Talk of people like Karondo, very experienced. But they were left out only for the rich and top cream to be given those positions. We are saying this, Mr. William Ruto, our president, we love you. In any case, you are going to be forced by the River Court to reappoint or to renominate your PSs. Please consider having youth, women, and people with disability, and also to include Boda Boda and the Mama Boga, because these are the people who put you to that position. Yes, those people sponsored your campaign, or they contributed to your
I don't think that it is good if we can take that direction of seeing those people who sponsored the campaign, because we are not sure of.
But those are not the media house words. They are my words. I own them.
Okay.
Because like whoever maybe who came from Muranga, we know who he sponsored. That's why he was given that position. We expected other people who worked for the. You see, that's why we are so.
And this is a matter which is still in the court of labor, and
those are the grounds.
Yes,
under which this court is in court, because youth were left out, women were left out. There were no regional balance.
Okay,
it did not meet the gender parity. You see, some of those who have been listed were not interviewed. So we are saying, let's have decorum, and let's include everybody in the government.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let us now look at something else, matters concerning the East Africa Legislative Assembly.
Yeah.
So this is whereby we have how many countries? I think there are 5 of them. We have Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Burundi.
And Burundi, I think
South Sudan.
South Sudan. And, yeah, I think.
So in these countries, there are 5 countries. We have something called the East Africa.
Yeah.
The EAC, the East Africa Community.
Yeah.
And that's where we have one assembly whereby each country contributes and it must have its members.
Yeah.
So how is the process for us to know, or even the term of the those legislative members in that office?
Yeah.
What is the term of them?
Okay, well, I'm not sure if it is still 7 years or so, but what I know is that Kenya is expected to set 9 members to the East Africa Legislative Assembly. These are the people who are going to discuss the issues that will be affecting our country. You know, the East Africa Legislative Assembly is supposed to discuss matter affecting our East Africa and the relationship between the those countries in East Africa, like the issue of border, conflict within those borders, the issue to do with the inter-country bilateral trade agreement, maybe to talk about the things that are preventing countries to trade together. The essence of this legislative assembly is to iron out all those differences, and also to make laws and policies that will govern the East African community. Because, you know, when we come from Kenya, others come from Tanzania, Kenyans may decide to use their strength, financial strength, to suppress Ugandans. Ugandans may decide to use their food basket to suppress Kenya. You see? So the essence of the East African Legislative Assembly is to iron out and to have a level playing ground for all of us as a community. Because when it was there before the time of Kenyatta, Nyerere, and the rest, but some issues came about, and it splitted the East Africa community. Now, when it came back, they decided we must have an assembly that will iron out all those issues. And now, what is happening now in our country after elections? Some of those who are in that legislative assembly won election in Kenya, like Kipipili, member of parliament, was in East Africa. Yes. Others ended their term, and now we are having a fresh.
So it means that if you come here in Kenya, you win that election, you are being disqualified to be a member of East Africa of YALA.
Yeah, you cease being a member of YALA. If you are an elected member of parliament or a president or a senator or a governor, you cease being a member. Now,
so it does not really mean that you don't have to be a member from this period, or maybe, for example, if it is 7 years from now, we are in the year 2022 up to the year 2029, right? So you find that here in between, after every 5 years of the election of Kenya, we find that we must have new members.
Not necessarily. Like last time in 2017, there was a lady from Kiambu who was in East Africa, Mumbi Ngaro was nominated by ODM, and I think he added her term between 2017 and 2020. So it is not necessary that after every election we change the East Africa members. No, not necessarily. But I think this time all of them ended their term, and that's why we are having a fresh nomination or other election of new members. So that's why you have seen the ruling party, UDA, will nominate 5 members. And then I think the other parties will nominate the other 4.
So Kenya Kwanza will nominate 5.
Yeah, they will nominate 5. And then you saw yesterday when they had their pitch at the State House, they listed their members, the likes of Sankok, and the other 4. Some of them I'm not familiar with them. Then the other party like Jubilee will nominate 1. There's I think ODM will nominate 2. Wiper will nominate 1. And that's how you saw the name of Wino Diga there, the name of Kalonzo.
Kennedy
Kalonzo is there. the likes of Kanini Kega. So the parliament would go and nominate 9 of them, 5 from UDA and the rest from the other parties.
Okay.
And they are supposed to represent the country. When they go to East Africa, they are not going to represent the political divide. That we were in UDA, we support the UDA manifesto. We were in ODM, we oppose. No, they are going as our ambassadors there.
They are going to represent the country.
They are going to represent the country.
Despite of their
political
divides.
Yeah, they are going to represent the country. If President William Ruto want to lobby for something in East Africa Legislative Assembly, and he decide to use the Jubilee nominee there, the Jubilee nominee needs and should represent the government of Kenya, not his or her political divide.
So in this nomination, do we really have to consider the minority? Do we really have to consider the gender balancing and also the youth? Because I remember back in 2017 when we had that, the appointees, there is somebody who was appointed and people complained about him that he has been appointed in the position whereby it was supposed to be given to a youth.
Yeah, it should be there. But now you know our politics, as I said previously about PSS, it is who is who in this country. So we need to agree that. Because like in UD, there was a certain guy from Kiambu who was very vibrant, very youthful, very qualified, but he was left out. You see? We need also to ensure there is women, people with disability, and I think that's why the UDA decided to put Sankok there, women, and I think there was some women in the UDA group. You see? So we need to ensure there is that balance. And also ensure that we have youth there, and that's why I think Kennedy is there, Winnie Odiga is there. That's why I think they have been fronted.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, because as much as we say that at some points youths and women are not being appointed in these positions, do they come out and vie for this position or even fight for this position like any other person?
Yes, they do.
And do they know the structures of how I might vie for these positions?
Yeah, you see, like in Jubilee, there was a guy by the name I.G. Goge, a very youthful guy, former nominated senator. He presented his CV to the Jubilee Party and he requested to be nominated as a member of East African Legislative Assembly. There was another guy from Kiambu who presented her credentials to UDA. I think he's Karofia from Kiambu, a youthful guy. You see? So youth, they do present themselves to these positions and to these opportunities. But you know, they are not the decision makers. The decision makers sometimes decide to shortchange the youths. So I can tell you for sure, youths know about this position. They know how to apply for those positions. But when it comes to get those positions, that's why they have the challenge. And that's why I'm calling upon my fellow youths. Let's organize ourselves. Let's have our own parties. Let's have our own party leaders. And as we go to the negotiation table, we go as party leaders and we go as a certain political outfit, so that we can be able to be negotiating our space with others. But if we continue following the political parties of these people, we are going to be shortchanged, as it has been.
So you have told us the youth, because I'm also a youth, for us to join and form our own parties.
Yeah.
Do you really think youths are ready to enter into any political party? Because I think if this position are being given as per the party, these parties are supposed to give this one person to the other party, another one person. So do we really do we have enough members or youths who are representing us in those parties? And we as youths, are we supposed to be in those parties? And how are we taking it right now?
Well, yeah, we have what it takes to be in those parties. Like you see, Peter, there was a guy by the name Steve Shege who died the other day through a road accident. It was unfortunate. He was a member of Jubilee previously, and he contested for Laikipia senatorial seat through Jubilee. He was organizing himself and his fellow youths to register a political party. And he had gone a number of steps, and the name was reserved. And what he was doing is to look for a symbol and slogan and so on. So youth are willing to do that, and I think we are going to do that because for some times we have been joining these parties. You see, like Dennis Itumbe joined UDA. He campaigned for UDA. He blogged for UDA. He risked his life and his career in the name of UDA. But when it comes to reward, he was left out. So that's why we are thinking,
we still have the other positions. Yeah, because I understand that the CS and even others in parastatus.
You see, why should we go for the parastatus? Why can't we be given a CS position? Are we less of?
No, we are not, because I understand even the last regime we had
the majority.
In the last regime we had 3 CAS. We had ZAK.
Only 3.
They were 3.
Only 3, considering the population.
Yeah, I remember we had 3 CAS because we had ZAK Kenodia. We had this other gentleman by the name David. I don't remember the other name.
And the health CS.
CS, Massimo Wangangi. Yes.
You see, we are only considered for the CAS's position. And that we should be under someone, receiving orders from someone, a CS. Why can't we be the one giving orders? Why? That's what I'm asking for our people to consider fighting for. We be given like 3 CSs. CSs are youths. Are we together?
Yes.
We be given a position of a speaker, a youth. We be given a position of a maybe, you know, an attorney general, a CS, a youth. Are we together? East African Assembly, we be given youths who are from, you know, who worked for the party. That's what I'm asking. Not just to be given a CAS, a director. You know, my friend, being given a director position, you only qualified for only 3 sittings. And that's why you are supposed to get an allowance. A director, you only get an allowance. My friend, if you tell us that you only qualify for allowances, not salaries, and not even to be in the decision-making tables in the cabinet, you know, we are minority, we are marginalized in the cabinet. And that's what I'm asking.
So, and when we talk about maybe cabinet and other appointed positions, so I think some of these positions, do they really require that experience? Your tajriba ya muda mrefu, whereby you must be in this position working for a certain period of time and having this kind of qualifications. Because when we talk about CS, it is somebody, if we talk about security, is somebody who have been there in the maybe matters concerning security for a long period, knows how things works. Because if we can put someone who comes directly from the university, a graduate, as a fresh graduate from the university, we position him or her in that position. Do you really think this person will deliver? Yeah,
you know, not necessarily from straight from university. If someone like you, Peter, maybe you have been to this industry of media for close to 5 years, and you are still young, a youth person, so you can be given to be a CS of information. Are we together?
Yes.
You have been in security sector for close to 10 years. You are still a young person.
Yeah.
You can be given the position of a CS. Are we together?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. It does, you know, even some of these CSs, they are not even, they don't even understand what is there. When they were interviewed, you will understand these people, they understand nothing about the position they are seeking. So it does not matter. It is not about experience. At youth don't have experience. We do. We have experienced people. Like you see, Zak Inodia was a CAS, my friend. Why was he not picked to be a CS now? Are we together? Why? You see? Why was Massimo Wangangi not picked to be a CS now? She has been a CAS for close to 4 years. She has the experience. Why not? You see, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And that's why I'm calling my fellow youth to organize themselves. Yeah.
Let us come back to the Yella nominations.
Yeah.
How are they to be conducted? Because these are not the people that have been brought on the ground. And we as Kenyans, we have been told to, we have shortlisted these people, vote for them. How is the process? How are they going to be determined?
The name, the parties will set the names to the National Assemblies. And the National Assembly will debate the qualifications of these names, and later on the Assembly will vote. Will vote for them. You know, there are more than 9. So they'll vote for only nine of them. So after voting, that's how they will qualify for the East African position. Yeah. No, nothing will involve the common man.
So immediately after they are being elected by the members of parliament,
yeah, the president will forward them to the assembly, the East African Assembly in Tanzania. Yeah.
So that's where they'll go and be sworn in and start serving the East Africa community, because they will not be serving Kenya only.
Yeah, they will not be serving Kenya only. They're serving the East Africa, only representing Kenya. Yeah.
So there are some. Are there some of the people who will be, or let me ask this way? Should we wait to see them accompanying maybe the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is currently working to make sure that all other parts of the East Africa are in peace? Because we have seen him in Ethiopia, in Congo.
Well, they are not necessarily going to join him. You know, President Uhuru Kenyatta is a peace ambassador. He's going to try and bring peace in the worn-out countries.
Yeah.
But mostly these members are going to registrate. They are going to registrate on matter concerning East Africa, as I said, matter to do with trade, boundaries, matter to do with bilateral agreements, such things. But time to time they may be joining the president for peace talk, but that is not their main agenda. Their main agenda is to registrate matter concerning East Africa and also to represent the East African community there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As much as they are going to legislate, we understand that any given member of parliament, be it a member of parliament, senate, and even the MCC in Kenya, they do two works, that is oversight and registration.
Yeah.
So are they going to oversight? And if they have to oversight, who are they going to oversight? Because we understand others, they oversight the executive.
Yeah. They are going to some extent, they are going to oversight the like Kenya, if in case the President William Ruto is doing something that is against a certain country. They want to suppress a certain country. They are going to request him, or to sit down with him, to request him to withdraw some things, to consider the neighboring country. That's the only thing they are going to oversight the head of states in those member countries. Yeah. Then they registrate matter concerning those countries. They represent their countries. Yeah.
So is there any legal action they can take if the president of any country fails to do whatever they have had? Because I remember there was a time of this Magufuli when he said that go to Kenya, save them. Wauzie kwa bei ya juu. Do you remember that time during the corona period?
Yeah.
When everything which was coming from Tanzania was at a higher price.
Yeah. And
even some of us Kenyans, we could not be able to manage.
You see, an assembly don't have the enforcing power. They only registrate. They say, let's remove these tariffs. Let's reduce the tariffs to this level. They registrate and they leave the governments of member countries to implement, but they have no power to enforce. So the only thing they can try to do is try to come in and try to bring peace to the member countries. But if it is not possible, they just leave it at that, because they don't have a police. But we know we have a court in East Africa that try to try and bring to solve these conflicts. Yeah, these border conflicts, those trade conflicts. But for IARA, they only registrate and leave it at that point. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. And also, let us look on another topic here. And today we understand that yes, there is something that has been going on here in Kenya. Currently, somebody somewhere, one of the MPs, came out I think it was last week or last week, but he came out and said that instead of us having the president two terms, any president serving for 2 terms, we really need to have the president who will be serving until he gets to the age of 75. And yesterday, President William Ruto distanced himself from that statement, saying and telling the MPs to focus on matters related to common mwananchi and whatever that all the issues, and deal with the issues that made these Kenyans to vote them in.
Yeah. You see, that man, and as we say in politics, nothing happens out of nowhere.
What do you mean when you say so?
It must have been organized and planned by someone. You know, that man did not wake up and said, "I'll go and say this." Someone told him and called him somewhere in a corner or in a room, and they said, "We are going to try and test waters." You know, what this guy was doing is to try and test waters and try to see what people are thinking. You see? And try to give an idea and see how it is going to fare. So that one was not his own idea. It was a big boy idea somewhere. And they decided to use this man. So what I can say is this is an idea that will come somewhere. Maybe within these 10 years, it will be reintroduced. We were just prepared. We are coming to change the constitution. And we want to extend not anything else, but presidential term limit.
Is there anybody who has the facts of where this information came from? Because you have said that this information has come from somewhere. And one thing that I know, that we are supposed to talk about the facts. Yeah, we must have our facts. Yeah.
You see, I can tell you this. When someone says something, now let me not repeat this, but I may not say that it was coming from the UDA side or ODM side, but we all know who it is likely to favor if it is implemented. Are we together?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
So we can only say, and whoever is supposed to favor is the party leader of this guy.
How? And we understand, no, this person, this person is related to is a member of UDA.
Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah.
So, but how can we say that it is in favor of the president who yesterday distanced himself from that statement?
You know, William Ruto is a politician.
Yes.
And he is one of the most successful politicians who have never lost anything in this country. He has never lost any election. He has never lost any battle. Are we together? And William Ruto was just trying to tell Kenyans, I'm not part of this. But in the real sense, he's going to benefit if it is implemented. Because they are saying, remove the term limit from 2 terms of 5 years to a lifetime. You know, or like something of the sort. Then the age limit should be 70.
75.
75. So William Ruto will not be 75 come 2032. He will not be bad from the term limit. So mostly it is going to benefit him because we are in Africa, and in Africa it is not possible to lose an election when you are the sitting head of state. So we can say it is likely to benefit.
If we can have such kind of manner or even that kind of motion being tabled in the parliament, for any part of to be entrenched into the constitution, it requires a which quorum, a number of how many members of the parliament, or even any the percentage.
We need a two-third majority, or two-third members of National Assembly supporting this motion, even before it is introduced to the Assembly. And this is what the UDA is trying to get. And that's why you can see they are wooing the opposition, or rather the uncomfortable parties or members of the National Assembly who are not comfortable in the opposition. And they are trying to get this, and they are going to get it slowly by slowly. But I can say this, on my own idea, or in my own thinking, this is not a good thing. And this is it should not be part of what we are discussing this time. We have important things that we should be discussing. We need to be talking about how we are going to reduce the cost of living. Our MP should be thinking on how they are going to tackle the drought in this country. They should be trying to bring down the high unemployment rate. They should not be thinking, they should not even try to think, or even think of how to extend a term limit. They should be thinking on how to better the livelihood of these Kenyans who voted for them. So I can only say this: let us not take much of our time to discuss these things. Let's concentrate on most important things in this country: to create employment, to reduce the cost of living, to reduce the crime rate, which is going up. These are the things that our MPs should be thinking about. But talking about the term limit, I would personally cannot support that one. When will I become a president of this country? When will you become the president of this country? When will we have a youthful person being a president if we continue recycling them?
But I think that we had the same idea when there was a campaign for BBI, where it was stating that the president should serve for one term of 7 years.
Was it part of BBI?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
It was.
It was.
It was. Whereby they were indicating that the president should be serving for 7 years for one term.
Okay.
Yes.
So was there, that was not an extending of term limit. Actually, it was a limiting.
Even if it was limiting,
it was
but don't you really think that it could go contrary to the constitution that we have, the constitution that we passed in the year 2010?
You see, what these people are trying to say is to change the constitution. So I think that part of changing the constitution and changing any way of term limit of the president should not be allowed. Let's retain the way it is. Any other thing should be changed. But not the presidential term limit or governor term limit. Let's remain as it is. Let's talk about how to better our economy and to reduce unemployment, to reduce crime rate and eradication of our people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So far, so good as a country. Matters to do with economy. Where are we so far?
The cost of living is so high. And the reason the cost of living is so high, it's not necessarily because of the current government. You know, if you hosted me previously, I was defending the previous government. And I was saying, it is not the fault of the previous government that the cost of living is the way it was. And I want to maintain the same. It is not the fault of this government that the cost of living is the way it is. It is other factors. Like the war in Russia, where we import fuel from, fertilizer from. Are we together?
Yes.
Those are some of the factors that have made the cost of living to go up. Other factors are like the drought that we were facing as a country. There was no rain. So where do you expect us to get food from? And we all depend from rain. We don't have irrigation. Maybe that's where the government should be coming in. But I can only tell Kenyans, let's just give time to this government. It is very young. And I also request the government to try and have ways to bring the cost of living down. And they are trying. Let me say that. Because when you saw the president trying to source fertilizer from another country, that is it's a good thing. When we have seen the president is trying to have more dams being sunk in this country so that we can start having irrigation, farming through irrigation, we don't necessarily depend with rain. That's a good thing. Kenyans, let's give time. Let's just allow the government to settle down. Let's allow them to organize themselves. It is going to take time, for sure. So,
as we wind up, do you really think that we have learned a lesson in this period of the drought season that we had? The way we learned a lesson during the corona period and on how to survive. We learned on other things on how we can survive and maintain our whatever we have during the season, because I think this is another calamity.
I'm not very sure, because this is not the first drought. We have suffered other droughts.
But it has been said that the last time that we experienced such kind of drought, it is like 40 years ago.
Sure, but let me hope we have learned. And maybe that's why maybe we have started seeing the fertilizer being imported from another country, having more dams being sunk. I think we are running. But it's a matter of wait and see. This is something that we cannot say with a lot of certainty that we have learned. We are going to wait and see, because after every drought, we normally have rains. And previously, we have not seen anyone trying to have dams, but let's see. We hope for the best.
Thank you.
We hope that the cost of living will go down, but to my fellow youths, let's not go to the crime and decide that we are going to be criminals so that we can make our admits. No, let's try and be sober and modest.
Thank you so much for your time, because I'm being told that we are behind the time, and now So maybe we shall have another day to we shall have other talks. We shall discuss about other things, concern matters pertaining the politics of Kenya and the development of the nation. So the one we had in our studios is Wambogo Morogo, a political analyst, where we have discussed a lot. And now I just want to remind you that do you want to earn, do you want to win money? You just need 99 shillings for you to become a millionaire and or even to earn 100,000. Remember, this is courtesy of Lotto. Shinda Lotto sio ndoto, na kuambia ya kwamba unaweza shinda 100,000 shillings kwa watu 7 siku ya leo. Wanafaa washinde kila mtu shilingi 1,100 au 100,000 kwa Kiswahili sanifu. So what we are supposed to do, unafaa uende pale kwa M-Pesa, go to your M-Pesa, dial the paybill number 77700, and account name it is DTV, and amount it is 99 shillings, and you relax and wait to be a winner. Thank you so much for your time today. This is DAESAK TV, the credo of goodness, and this is the morning dew show. And on behalf of my colleague Mike Kilambo, I want to tell you, have a blessed day. My name is Peter. Come out.
Query or complaint regarding our programs, get in touch with us on 0724